Can I just so it's easy to understand, okay? Because if the guy says that she hasn't seen numbers on a bank statement, so she doesn't really know, so she hasn't seen, right? The equivalent would be that if a woman that you were speaking to that you haven't actually seen yet, and you said, "What do you look like?" and she said, "I'm not a supermodel, but I'm okay."
Exactly. It's
Your
kind of
mind,
the
your
same.
mind
Your
would
mind
go.
is what? Like the cheese shit, right? But do what you did before.
Okay, go on then.
Hey, Stryker, let's speak about money.
Okay, then what would you like to speak about in regards with money?
Do you like to speak about money?
No, I don't actually. I don't think that money is a topic that should be spoken about openly. Maybe maybe in certain situations, of course.
I mean, if you're on an investment financial meeting,
yeah,
then probably yes.
But I'm guessing what you're talking about is speaking about it on a date.
Yes. So, hello guys, my name is Luba.
And my name is Stryker.
And we are co-founders of International Matchmaking agency, Hard Target. So if you don't know us, please subscribe to our channel and join our free Telegram community to get to know us a bit better. So in today's topic, we want to discuss money, topic of the money and discussion money during your date. So most of you guys do not want, I think nobody wants to have a lady who only with you because of money, right? It's not what the guy is looking for. You don't want a lady to kind of ask or try to find out how much money you make. And that's why it's important to, in order to not ask you about that or try to figure it out, to not start this conversation. Do not be the one who is initiating the talk about money. I will tell you, first of all, the difference between Western world and Ukrainian from my observation of working 14 years in this industry, and not just industry, just in general. On the West, people discuss money a lot. And they discuss it because the whole system is according to work per hours. Everybody know their annual income. And in Ukraine, we kind of do not work per hour. And you may laugh and say, in Ukraine, people making very small money, so that's why they not discuss. But in general, people get salary and they don't discuss how much you make per hour. They don't know. They don't know their annual amount of money, because in US, anybody you would ask, they would say, I'm making 100 grand, 150, whatever. So in Ukraine it's different, and on the West people discussing pricing for this, pricing for that, and how much at the restaurant. In our course we were discussing that please do not comment the food on the menu it's so cheap or it's so expensive. So this topic is the same kind of the same topic as a politic or religion. We do not and COVID and the war at the moment. So we don't recommend to discuss because it put both of you in a little bit awkward situation. Because if you start asking about for example, how much money she makes, then she will get confused because she will not understand why you ask. And you may be just curious, right? The guy can be just curious why the lady is asking, you're just curious about Ukrainian or Eastern European situation. For her, it's weird because in Ukraine, we don't ask each other how much money you make. And I started the video by saying that you don't want the lady to be with you because of your money. So that's why we don't want you to show to the lady, for example, assets that you have, right?
Assets.
Assets.
Yeah.
It's
you said asses.
Not assets. Assets. For example, some guys can show their house. During the day, they say, here, look at my house. Look at this, look at this. This is what I have. I own this jet ski. I own this motorbikes. I want this, this, and this. So, and of course, it's cool. It's cool when you're dating for a longer time. It's cool when you want to share with her where she's gonna live. But on the first date, it's kind of weird. What do you think about that? It's put the wrong narrative. If you show your housing, if you show what you own, if you show what you have, if you talk about your income, if you talk about
I think it's all around the context of when it is presented, right? Because there may be a time when you want to show a photo of your house
further,
possibly further, but let's say on the first date, maybe you're discussing a certain type of house or something about to do with homes or houses or something like that, and it would be appropriate to show that. But if it's not appropriate to show it, if you're just showing it on a whim, you should check out my house I just bought a couple of years ago or just renovated it, you're showing it for a particular reason, and you're showing it to impress the woman. Now, if you have to use things like money, your new boat, your house, cars to impress a woman, you're basically saying that myself, I'm not enough.
Nothing.
I'm not enough to get a woman that's going to be interested in me through conversing with her. I need to put something on the top that's going to make her be more interested in me, or to guarantee that she's going to be interested in me. And this is wrong because, as Luba said, most guys don't like gold diggers. Yet when
Nobody, right? Like most of them.
not really. I mean, there's some. No, well, maybe.
Do you like a gold digger? Please put in a comment.
The guys don't want that. But when you present yourself in that way, that you're expecting to have a woman who's going to be interested in you because you have money, well, that money that you have is the only reason you'll be showing it is because you're willing to share it out to the world and out to her. Well, it's going to put her in a certain state of mind as well. But the worst thing about it is by showing how much money and how much assets and houses and all that stuff, you're actually devaluing yourself as a man. Because if you can't make a woman interested in you because you're an interesting person, you're interesting to talk to, you can make her feel interesting and special while you're on a date, so much so that she wants to spend more time with you. If you can't do that unless you can entice her with some material objects, then it says more about you than it would ever say about her if she was interested in those things only.
For me, like, I look at the money as an instrument of your life. It definitely shouldn't be the thing that is like controlling your life or telling you what to do. Like when you are dating, of course, if you come to Europe, for example, or you're dating overseas, you understand that it is an investment, right? It's an investment of time and money. It doesn't cost cheap, and you need to come, you need to book a hotel, you need to go and do different stuff, you need to go to the restaurants, you need to do this and this. And of course, money should be in your instrument. And trust me, women, of course, look at like they look at the guy who is like middle and higher, right? Of course, but she doesn't need to hear about your assets or your money. She needs to see that. She needs to see, how you at the restaurant, or like what kind of, like, for example, like maybe gift you get here, it's not that important. It's not the point of this video. It's just like, don't worry. If you want her to know how much money you have, women will always figure it out, no matter how bad it sounds.
Women are have an incredible intuition when it comes to selecting men. And I believe that they are born with it, because they have to be born with it, because their survival, thousands of years ago, was so dependent on the fact that they could select the correct man to have a child with, right? So they're born with something, right? But over time, that becomes more and more potent. It becomes more powerful from their own experiences as well. So instead of, so you may be thinking, well, she's looking at me, how does she know that, like I'm a man of value? She will figure that out through your actions and through what it is that you are talking about. If you do show something, she's most likely going to think that this guy has something to prove. And she'll shit test you anyway, all the way through it. Like, she will shit test you. That's what they do. They all do that. So she will shit test you, and she'll figure out if you're full of shit or not, because that's what a shit test is, right? It's her figuring out.
But what the lady will pay attention at it will be at your clothes, for example. And it doesn't need to be like branding or something, but it should be nice, stylish, clean clothes, good shoes. This is what she's paying attention. And the lady, honestly, like, guys think that this is one of the most important thing for the lady. It's money. It's not even the money. It's like stability. It's like ability to live and feel safe and comfortable. But I want to go to another extreme that is happening. That is, like, as I said, the cultural thing is like discussing money is in Western Europe, they don't do it, and on the West they do it a lot. But another extreme, it's not an extreme, but there's a phrase that some guys are using, and it sounds like, I'm not rich, but I make enough, or I have enough. Okay. So tell me about this phrase. Tell me, what does it mean, and I will tell you how I hear that and how the ladies interpret that. What does it mean? Like, would you use this phrase?
No.
But in general, it's common phrase, right? Like, people, like, you can say that I'm not rich, but I have enough. So what does it mean? It means that...
But you wouldn't... Okay, yeah, I guess it means that you live comfortable, but you don't have a Lamborghini.
Okay, because for me, when I hear this phrase, it means that you just made it, just made it to the certain point, but it's not stable. It's not like it is how it's like about genuine man, right? Like when they go, like genuine, or like it's like different translation from Russian, Ukrainian to English. I mean, otherwise, but the same. Like when the guy is saying like, I'm not rich, but I make enough. For the lady, she's thinking, why do you even tell me this? Like, why do you even discuss? So there is a problem, because we only speak, like, in our mind, we think that if we speak about that, then there is a problem.
Can I just, like, so it's easy to understand, okay? Because if the guy says that she hasn't seen numbers on a bank statement, so she doesn't really know, so she hasn't seen, right? The equivalent would be that if a woman that you are speaking to that you haven't actually seen yet, and you said, what do you look like? And she said, I'm not a supermodel, but I'm okay.
Exactly. It's
Your
kind of
mind-
the
your
same.
mind
Your
would
mind
go-
is what? Like the cheese shit, right?
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it would be, yeah, I guess so. You would be very cautious about it because you don't really know. But you might meet her and she's absolutely stunning, but she
Yeah,
thinks that
she thinks, yes. And also this is very subjective, right? Like I
course.
don't have I'm making enough. Enough for what? Maybe for you it's enough, for her it's like a lot, or maybe for you it's enough, for her it's not enough.
Yeah, you're confusing it.
It's confusing.
It's
so
confusing.
that is why it's better to not discuss that. The only point of this video was to let you know to not discuss money question in anyhow. Of course, when you live together or when you're in a longer relationship, you should discuss, because the ladies very often, very often, she's asking the question, do you want, and it's interesting, like we've been talking about this, maybe we should refer here on this video. So the lady is asking, do you want your lady to work or you want her to stay at home? So there is an absolutely opposite vision on this question from the men's point of view and the women's. So when the guy, sometimes the lady asking this question, the guy, sometimes the guy is asking, would you like to, here is the difference, I want to say it again. So the guy is asking, would you like to stay at home or go to work? When the lady is asking this question, she's asking, do you want your woman to, do you need your woman to work or she can stay at home? Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
The difference is that the guy is asking because on the West, like the guy wants the lady to stay with the child, to be more like with the family. He makes enough money. He wants her to be at home and create. Like she can have some hobby, he doesn't mind, but he doesn't want her to be career oriented and stay at work all day long, right? For Ukrainian woman, she needs to understand, or Eastern European woman, she needs to understand, okay, do you need me to go to work? Or it's okay if I stay, because it's not that she understands that when she comes to US, she can't find work straight away. And like, what can be her work unless she like really work as a beautician? What will be working in Walmart, in Publix? Where should she work? You know, for the beginning. So it's going to be very difficult. So she needs, by asking this, do you need your woman to work? Like the guy may think, oh my God, I better like, you know, something like in his mind, but she actually asking that because she tried to figure it out. Do you have money to provide the family, or you need her to go to work? Different ladies has different expectations. Maybe for somebody it's fine. Like she doesn't look for like super rich man, but this is the only case when you can discuss that on a first stage, you know, about money, or like I make enough, so you don't need to worry about that. If you want to work, you can go to work, but that's it. Like, no more discussion of money, especially at the very beginning of a relationship, because it's very confusing. And as a stryker said, what is enough for you, maybe, or not enough for you, maybe it's a lot for her. And you are coming from a very different cultures. If you may be dating an American woman, then like you have equal understanding of like what is enough, what is not enough. For her anyway, like even if you make like, for example, 100,000 or 150,000, I don't know what is like, for example, salary in California, that is not enough, right? Like, I'm not sure, maybe I'm making a mistake, but maybe this 150 is just enough. But if you say her this phrase, she will think, oh wow, this guy is rich, because nobody in Ukraine making 150,000, you know. So it's the difference. But you may think, oh, just enough, you know, like I barely like pay my bills, pay my mortgage. And again, just one second, you know, we had a call recently, and the guy say like, I paid my debt, I don't have any like debt, or I don't have any mortgage or anything, like, so I'm still working, and I have. This is one case from the case when the guy has everything in mortgage, right? Like house and car.
But even
and
that Ukrainians don't understand, because if he says, look, I paid off all my debt, I don't have any debts. Well, in Ukraine, they don't have debt. They don't have debt. Everything is paid for with cash because huge high interest rates. If he says I don't have any debts, she might be thinking debts to what? Like his friends. He borrowed $50 from his friends. They don't understand that you take out like $1 million mortgage, because they just don't do that over there. I
had a call with our client, and he said, Luba, he's already in a relationship, and the lady is in the US, and he said, can you please explain her the difference between loan and the credit card? And I said, what do you mean?
Because who said that?
should I say the name or what? No.
Oh, no, you mean a client or?
Yes, he is already in a relationship. And so they kind of have this discussion when she was like spending money from the credit card, and then like for the biggest amount, they need to take a loan, and she can't understand it. But he say like there's a 20% like on a credit card,
different.
and it's 9%. We don't have it at all. We don't understand. Like, of course, if you tell me, like and he said, can you explain? I said, wait a second, you need to explain it to me first, because for me, like I mean, it's all right. And it's completely fine. There's nothing like a shameful that you taking loan or using a credit card. We just don't have it. Maybe it's a shameful that we don't have it. I don't know, but it is another topic. But this is like when you're living together, right? And he explained to her that when he needs to take a bigger amount of money, like they was buying something or doing something, so they need to take a loan because they're going to be 9% of the interest. Or like, but when she pay, like if they just pay this money, like this $7,000 they pay with a credit card, for example, then the interest rate would be 20%. And he just know that because he was born with that. You know, in the US there are so many different rules that I don't know how you guys follow them all, but for him it's easy. But for her, he need to explain that. And he got frustrated because he forgot that she may not understand it. He think, why she not understand? Why she think that she should take from credit card? So the money question is always very like I hate to discuss that. I honestly...
Yeah, it's different like the West. Like this, you know, it really just strengthens the point of, you know, we look at how many videos that we've made, like over the few years, it's like 350 or something like that. And it's like, if you were to say to me at the start of this, what 350 videos could you make? We're making one here about the cultural differences, the mentality between talking about money between Ukrainian women and Western men. There are so many differences, you know, like with all of our clients, everything is different, and we guide them through all of this. I couldn't even imagine going and trying to do this, you know, just without understanding all of this stuff.
And it's
first.
just like few points we say here, you know, there is so much more, but this is the basic that you need to know to avoid some kind of a problems.
Yeah.
Because when you get to know each other, like both of you, it's like open cables, you know, it's like you're too vulnerable. And every word, like, because especially when you do now this online dating, like when you do it like through the Zoom, you try to catch every single word. I know that from firsthand, like I know how the guy's paying attention at every single word that she's saying. Sometimes she like can be confused and she can say something because like your English is not perfect. But the guys are listening to every single word. The same with the woman. But you know, for the guys, they pay attention at one like level, you know, they're looking for her like this and this.
Yeah.
The ladies are for different. So that's why we just advise to avoid this kind of misunderstanding, and you can discuss it later. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's like you really have to get out of that mindset of the West, and she needs to get out of the mindset of this one. But they really, like, it's very rare when both people go, she says, I'm dating a man from the West, I need to try and figure it out. And he says, okay, I want to date a woman from Ukraine, I need to get into the headspace of that. It's very rare that it comes together just like that. You know, there's always like the men are dating women from Ukraine as if they're Western women, and the women are dating men from the West as if they're Ukrainian men. And this is where like there's so much things that can go wrong. So that's why we make these videos, just to give you a little bit of a heads up of stuff that can go wrong. And if you see it happening, whether you're our client or you're not our client, at least you can think about it and go, okay, I think I know what to do here.
Yeah. So if you have any questions left, please put them down below, or if you want to talk to us, you can also book a consultation call with us. It's a strategy call that we help you to figure it out what would be the best way for you to start dating, or maybe with your current relationship. So we will be very happy to see you on our calls and our next videos.
I'll catch you later.
Bye.